Welcome back, everybody, to topic 10. So that is episode 10. And today we're going to discuss why do some organizations choose not to use an email or file archiving solution. So as I said, today is our 10th episode, and we've decided to turn things around. And I suppose rather than trying to push the email archiving, we're going to discuss why people choose not to go with an email archiving solution. So welcome back, Mark.
Hi, Laura.
How often would you say we gain a new client that is perhaps in a panic state because their mail servers have reached full capacity, or they're looking for a solution immediately because, I don't know, they've received some devastating results from a litigation where email contained a smoking gun and now they don't know what to do?
It happens periodically, all right. I guess the most common scenario would be me getting a phone call from someone saying, you know, the thing you showed me in a demo 18 months ago that we didn't go with, is there any chance you can install it tomorrow and point it back to a specific date range? So they might have seen the product, understood it, didn't see the urgency, and then when it occurs, they would come back to me. The only question they don't ask the second time is, what does it cost? They just want it in.
Okay, that urgent. Any other reasons why organizations choose an email archiving solution at the last minute?
Because quite often we're running our businesses in a reactive way. So if I have enough on my plate to get through these 8 hours managing critical solutions, implementing a proactive solution, I just don't have the headspace to do it. Or they may not see the potential issues that could arise. They could just be too busy, be too lazy, don't see the benefits in this space, don't focus on the non-critical aspects of their organization, or simply don't fix if it's not broken. I am working as a business, I don't have an e-discovery tool, nothing seems to be broken, so let's continue with business as normal.
Okay. From your day-to-day discussions with clients, who do you feel is responsible for evaluating email archiving solutions?
It's almost always IT, which is not necessarily the right people to do it, because the e-discovery functionality is not inherently an IT interest, but because it happens to be software or it sits on a server, the IT needs to get involved and own it. Now, in my 16 years here, it's been 99% IT for a very long time. It's probably dropped to 80% IT, 20% DPO compliance e-discovery teams. But what should happen is there should be collaboration between the people who are going to use the software and the team who are going to implement it. It's not always the same departments.
It makes sense. What do you think the main reasons are for organizations choosing not to use a third-party email archiving solution?
I think if they have a solution that has it built in, they will see that as the easy option or the simpler option. Not necessarily the case. E5 and Office 365 gives you advanced e-discovery. My point on that would be, it might seem that it's easier, especially if you have that licensing, but have you tried to learn it? Have you tried to understand it? Does the complexity outweigh the negative of having multi-vendor support in an organization? So it really can just be the lack of education.
Okay. And do you ever get the question, so, we're doing a demo and they come back and say, why can't employees just delete their old emails?
I do, yeah. And I mean, the GDPR coalition called that the Wild West of GDPR. If I just did a demo for 650 users in Switzerland. That's 650 people who own that little piece of the organization's communication thread. This client understood that he does not want 650 people with, ad hoc carte blanche access to do whatever they wanted to. So an email is not a legal record. There is no e-discovery built in. You can manipulate, delete, spoof emails all the time. So we can't, if we want to be serious to cover off any potential litigation in GDPR requirements, hand over that responsibility to our end users.
Okay, and I suppose then that probably is the next point. Would backup not suffice as an alternative?
And that's probably one of the worst concepts. Sure, I have a backup. If I need to find emails from a couple of years ago, I can go to that. Two reasons. There's no integrity, so I can't use the email in a formal way. If I can't use it in a formal environment, why am I keeping it? So it's a waste of time and effort because it's not admissible in a court of law, as we know, because it is an email. And secondly, a backup is a point in time. So it is hopefully whatever at that split moment was that email alive, and now do I have a copy of it? Whereas an e-discovery tool has a copy of everything before the end users even interact with it. So it's complete and it's legally compliant to use in a court of law.
Okay. So do you have any must-haves for an organization when choosing an email archiving solution?
Well, you've heard me say this, and I say the same things. When we're evaluating, evaluate on cost, complexity, and the after-sales managed service. So what does it cost, and understand the total cost of running the solution, not just the software. If we have to bring in consultancy, make sure, and very importantly, you understand the complexity. No point in having something if you haven't got the faintest idea how to use it when that stressful situation occurs. And that's what happens. These are stressful situations that happen infrequently. So if you think you know it, you probably don't. When the guys in the blue suits are standing behind you, waiting for you to defend the company in a 10 million euro lawsuit. So that's where the third point comes in. The peace of mind that a managed solution will give is very important when you're using these products infrequently. If you're using Outlook all day, every day, you don't need help to use it. If you're touching onto something every couple of years, then that's the time you want to be able to say, if the incident occurs, I have somebody to fall back on. So those are the 3 points I'd use to evaluate.
Okay, and then for anybody that's out there sitting on the fence about, going ahead and purchasing an email archiving solution, do you have any final tips for them?
Do your homework, like I always say. Don't get lazy and say one size fits all. Very importantly, understand the process of e-discovery, from start to finish. Starting with an email is not a legal record. So thinking, well, I've got a backup of every email, so if I have to go troll through that, I might find it. Go through the real life scenario of actually doing that. Give yourself an example. Pick an ex-employee. I say that to all potential clients. Pick a problem ex-employee. We all can pick instantly somebody in our heads. I have one right now. That person does a DSAR, does an unfair dismissal action, and scenario out an example. Make it up. And then walk through and be honest about, would I be able to do this? Who would do it? How long would it take? Who would I give the information to? So do your homework in a scenario. Okay, it is, the analogy for these type of products, as I always say, it's like insurance. It's like maybe a home watch. You will get house insurance, you'll get home watch, not because you want your house to be broken into or the house to be set on fire, but that you are prepared that if either of those scenarios, you've done your best to mitigate against them.
Okay, great. Well, thanks again, Mark, for today's episode.
No problem, Laura.
And thanks everybody else for joining. If you have any topics that you would like us to cover, you can just pop us a message below, or you can visit our website on www.waterfordtechnologies.com. Okay, we'll see you all next week.
Okay, bye everybody.
Bye-bye.